Hello and a warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. And today we'll be focusing on most important news of this week, plus we'll see some PYQs. So the news we are going to focus on are novel ecosystems via glacier meltdown, bacterial breakdown of hydrocarbons, then we'll see what is a MAGNETAR and new COVID-19 variant. We'll see the name and details. Alright, so let's begin. Just a second. Alright. So warming induced glacier retreat. So glacial loss and climatic scenarios. Basically, this news is about the climate change and what this glacier retreat can lead to. Okay. So a study published in Nature warns that human-induced climate change, particularly under a high emission scenario. So whenever we write human-induced, we can write anthropogenic. Anthropogenic. So could lead to significant glacier loss outside the Antarctic and Greenland ice sheets by the end of the century. So please remember where these locations are. So when we see the Greenland, it's in the northern pole side. Okay. Greenland is basically very, very close to the North Pole. When you talk about the Antarctic, then it's the South Pole. By the end of this century. So under a high emission scenario, that is tripling of greenhouse gas emissions by 2075. So please always remember that what is the reference for this high emission scenario? The Paris Convention. Okay. So what we are looking at here, high emission scenario means tripling of greenhouse gas emissions by 2075. Up to 50% of glacier area from 2020 could disappear by 2100. However, adopting a low emission scenario, achieving net zero emission by 2050. So here, what is the important point that we should see what is India's goals. So India's goals are 2050 or 2070, you tell me in the comment section. And if it's 2070, then what are the India's goals? If it's 2050, then what are India's goals there? Okay. And what is net zero? So could reduce the loss to approximately 22%. Ecological consequences. So the loss of glaciers is expected to lead to the development of new terrestrial, marine and freshwater ecosystems over an area comparable to the size of Nepal to that of Finland by 2100. So basically what is this saying is that glaciers will melt first of all. So when glaciers melt, two things happen. Okay, the first thing that happens is that there is melting of ice. The ice will melt. So melting of ice will free up two things. One is water and one is land. Land onto which the ice was earlier and water that the ice was holding. Okay. Let's say this is a glacier. This melts, so this will become like what? There will be some water here and half of the glacier will remain. Okay, so these both are new systems, ecosystems. So this example you can write in your GS3, climate change. So these new ecosystems will exhibit a wide range of ecological conditions, potentially impacting primary productivity and increasing the presence of non-native and specialized species. Specialized means, let's say endemic species, such as cold adapted and generalist species. So what are the further challenges associated with this? Rapid emergence of new ecosystems due to deglaciation. This term is very important and you can use this in your answer writing. Will complicate the dynamics of glacial ecosystem and pose challenges for glacial conservation. Importantly, less than half of the glacier areas are located within protected areas. So this is a very important thing. What are the protected areas such as, let's say, national parks? So why is this happening? Because the glacier water is an important source for semiconductor operations. So China has been exploiting glaciers near Siachen for this also. Okay. And below the glaciers, the land has been preserved for years and years. So there can be many things in these parts. Many minerals can be there. Just a second. Many minerals can be there. Fuel can be there. Okay, in Greenland recently America started some, let's say, invasion or some deal making. Okay, so furthermore call for urgent action. So the authors emphasize the urgent need for simultaneous efforts to mitigate climate change and protect these emerging ecosystems in situ to ensure their continued existence, functioning and value. So this we don't have to focus so much on. Let's just see the global impact and what are glaciers. That is important. So global impact can be the consequence of glacier loss extend beyond ecological changes and could have far-reaching societal and environmental effects. So it's simply incomprehensible as of now that what can happen if glaciers melt. Alright, but the effects will of course be disastrous. This you can also read in GS3 disaster management. Let's just see what are glaciers, okay, so that we don't confuse them with another bodies. Because there are various snow-covered mountains also. Let's say this is a mountain. Okay, so mountain is internally made of some type of rock. And furthermore, just a second. Okay, let's say due to its altitude, it is covered by snow. Okay, so it will look very similar to a glacier. This is snow. But inside it is what? A rock. On the other hand, glaciers are pure ice. Okay, they are complete ice structures. There's no rock or anything inside. Okay, rocks can be found embedded on glaciers. But the most of the structure is complete ice. Okay, just a second. The second thing which is most important about the glaciers are they are dynamic. They are not static. Okay. So glaciers are massive, persistent bodies of ice that form from the accumulation and compaction of snow over long periods of time. These icy formations are critical component of Earth's cryosphere, which includes all frozen water on our planet. Glaciers are found on every continent except Australia, and they play a crucial role in shaping the landscape, influencing climate and providing freshwater resources. Alright, so this is the definition of glaciers. Let's further see how glaciers form. So glaciers form when snow accumulates over time and undergoes a process of compaction and recrystallization. So basically the shape, internal shape of the ice crystals change because of the pressure. Okay. So under the weight of new snow layers, the lower layers become compacted into dense ice. Movement. So glaciers are not static. They flow slowly under their own weight due to the plastic deformation of ice. This movement can be as slow as few centimeters per year to several meters per day in fast-flowing glaciers. So whenever we see a glacier, what comes to our brain is an image of the iceberg actually. Okay, iceberg can be broken off glaciers. Alright. So whenever you think of a glacier, you think about Siachen. That is a good example. Think about a mountain actually. That is of snow, complete ice and snow. This can be asked that what is the reason for movement of glacier? So this is plastic deformation of ice. Okay, not let's say any tectonic movement or anything else. Plastic deformation of ice. So please take care of this. Let's move further. So this is the map of northern India. Just a second. Alright. So here we see the northern part of Bharat. This is China, Afghanistan and all. So this is the Gilgit-Baltistan. These are all snow-covered areas. This is Trans-Karakoram Tract. And here a small portion lies Siachen Glacier. Okay, so China is exploiting this part of Siachen Glacier, but we have posts on it here from the Ladakh. Okay, this is Aksai Chin. So China has taken control of this part, but we still have Ladakh, and here there are famous Lake Pangong So and all. So this is the Siachen Glacier part. Okay, this is the Siachen Glacier you can see in the image. And this you can see is fully snow and ice. No rock structure inside. Okay. So one more news which is there related to the glaciers only I found in the Hindu. That what drives the process of Atlantification in Arctic seas. So both are very different geographical regions. One is talking about the Arctic Sea. One is talking about the Atlantification. So this is a great term to be known of. Atlantification. Okay. So warm waters from the Atlantic Ocean have been diverted into the Arctic Ocean. Warm water from Atlantic have been diverted to the Arctic Ocean in recent year. A phenomenon called the Atlantification that has disturbed ocean stratification in the Arctic and caused heat fluxes that help melt sea ice. Okay, so this is very much related to our deglaciation. Okay, so all these terms please remember, then use in your answer writing, and you will be awarded much higher marks than others. Okay, so a study shows that this culprit is known as the Arctic dipole. This pattern is associated with anticyclonic winds over North America and cyclonic winds over Eurasia. Okay, so please remember all these things whenever you read the news. Okay, one more we will see. The study reveals population decline in human ancestors. So why this happened? Because of the glacial melting. The decline coincided with climate changes. So this has happened before, what we are talking about, this glacier melting and all. So this has happened before, climate change happened before, and human population was almost completely declined. That means 98.7% of human population was dead. Okay, so this can happen with us again, and nothing will be able to prevent this from happening if we keep going on our ways with the climate change. All right. Next news is bacterial reshaping seeds hydrocarbon breakdown. So a specialized marine bacteria, just remember the name of this bacteria and its function. Okay. So that bloom following oil spills from unique biofilms. Following oil spills forms unique biofilm that reshape the oil droplet, allowing more bacteria to feed at once. This finding improves scientists' understanding of the process that drive biodegradation of the spilled oil. So spilled oil is a very major problem in the sea when we talk about the sea. I'll deal it with here. Okay, so whenever let's say sea is traveling, some ship is traveling, and this has oil containers, or any some let's say fuel container is there, its own fuel is there. So sometimes it goes into an accident near the shore, and then the fuel is spilled on the ocean surface. Let's say this is ocean surface, water is there, and oil keeps, either it changes into droplets, and if it is not changing into droplet, then it will prevent many phenomena from happening. Let's say this is an oil patch. Okay, this is an oil patch. So the marine animals, these oil patches are kilometers long sometimes. Okay, so the marine animals will not be able to respire. Okay, because oxygen CO2 exchange will stop. So many other things will also happen. So this is very degenerative to the environment. So the bacterium Alkanivorax borkumensis consumes hydrocarbons as its sole carbon and energy source. So this is a very good bacteria for us, very beneficial. So please remember and note down the name of this bacteria. Okay, this is bacteria, not a virus or anything else. Bacteria Alkanivorax borkumensis. Please note down this name. It can come into exam directly. So what is its benefit? That it consumes hydrocarbons as its sole carbon and energy source. The marine bacteria are known to form biofilm around oil droplets, but how exactly this process works hasn't been previously understood. So what the new study says? New study says a research team based in Japan and France has captured the full dynamics of biofilm development by using a microfluidic device that allows the real-time imaging of bacteria-covered oil droplet. This enables the team to observe the whole process from initial colonizations through to complete consumption of oil droplet. So what you need to remember here is that what is the function of this bacteria? To degenerate these oil droplets, and a biofilm if formed around this oil droplet, so more bacteria will be able to feed here. Okay, just a second. So how this bacteria is doing this, the speed increment? So it is increased in individual metabolic throughput. The acceleration appears to be during the type of biofilm that the bacteria form. So this bacteria is forming a biofilm. So bacteria that were exposed to the oil for longer formed thin biofilm with numerous branching dendrites. These dendritic biofilm decrease the oil-water interfacial tension, causing dimples to form on the droplet, which speed up the bacterial consumption by expanding the interference of the oil droplet, allowing more bacteria to feed simultaneously. So what we are seeing here is, let's say this is an oil droplet. Okay, so bacteria is forming a biofilm around this. Okay, and it is breaking this oil droplet even more and more. So more bacteria are coming around. Okay, and it is further fully degenerated. So fully consumed. Okay, let's see. This question came in 2022. So biofilm can be formed on medical implants within human tissues. So this is correct. This is a very good use of the biofilm. In fact, that infection will lesser. Okay. Biofilm can form on food and food processing surfaces. So this is also correct. Biofilm can exit antibiotic resistance. So this is also correct. Which of the following given are correct? All three are correct. All right. What is a magnetar? Let's see this quickly. So according to a new study, observation and stellar evolution models of a hot helium-rich Wolf-Rayet star indicate that it will produce a magnetar when it explodes at supernova. So supernova we have already heard. This I told in the sun's life lecture. Okay, that every star when it dies, sometimes it gets blasted eventually and a supernova is exposed. So a magnetar is a type of supernova. So magnetar is an exotic type of neutron star. Okay. Its defining feature is that it has ultra powerful magnetic field. The field is about 1,000 times stronger than a normal neutron star and about 1 trillion times stronger than the Earth. So very much higher. We cannot comprehend how much higher, but trillion times a lot more. So apart from ultra powerful magnetic field, magnetars also release vast amount of energy in form of flare, X-ray and gamma ray burst. They are therefore associated with extreme event in the universe, making them perhaps the most bizarre object in the cosmos next to black holes. Okay, so these we need to know about what are magnetars. So they are type of neutron stars. The magnetic field of magnetar may be caused by neutron stars interior, thought to be made of neutron, quarks and exotic state of matter such as Bose-Einstein condensate, becoming a superconducting fluid. Thus, when the star rotates, it would behave like a huge dynamo, generating an immense magnetic field. So there are many things happening in the universe we don't know about how they function. Okay, there are quark particles, there are neutron particles, there are many different things. So let us just go simply with these things and not stress ourselves upon much. So what is supernova? Supernova is name given to the cataclysmic explosion of a massive star. So when let's say a neutron star blast or any magnetar blast, then it can give a supernova. So these are the last explosion that takes place in the space. A star can go supernova in two ways. Type 1, star accumulate matter from nearby neighbor until a runaway nuclear reaction ignites. Okay, so supernova can happen because of a nuclear reaction. Second, a star runs out of the nuclear fuel and collapses under its own gravity. So this can emit more energy in few seconds than our sun will radiate in its lifetime of billions of years. Okay, so they are the most vast explosion in the whole universe. They are also the primary source of heavy elements in the universe. So uranium, let's say, or other heavy elements. So how they are made, how they are formed? Because of the supernovas. On average, a supernova will occur once every 50 years in the galaxy in the size of the Milky Way. Okay. Let us also see what are these Wolf-Rayet stars. So they are massive stars that are near the end of their stellar evolution. Okay, they are dying stars basically. They are typically more than 25 the mass of the sun and lose their mass at very high rate. They are a rare sight and among the most luminous, most massive and most briefly detectable stars known to scientists. One thing you need to know is that let's say we are seeing or detecting the light from a star now, that means the star is already dead, it's gone. Why? Because the light is traveling to our eyes and it's taking many years. Okay, stars are very far from us. So this star is already gone. Okay. Okay, new COVID variant. This is also we need to see. What is the name first of all? The name is Pirola. Okay. So Pirola name is BA286 2.86. That has been identified cause of rising COVID-19 infection in multiple countries. So mutation rate is very important. So Pirola has more than 30 mutation in its spike protein compared to the Omicron variant. The spike protein is critical for the virus to enter human cells. So more than 30 mutations. So we are seeing it's evolving very fast and it's evolving so as to remain in nature. Transmissibility is very high. It's unclear if Pirola is more transmissible than other variants, but the high number of mutations raise concern. Okay, so it can be more transmissible because of the mutation is very high and we don't know how it will affect on the human body. So let's see the global spread also. So it is detected in the US, the UK and several other countries and case appear to be unrelated. This suggests potential international transmission. Shift are worrisome and community transmission can be detected. Okay, further community transmission may be detected. Let us just focus on the important part, which is virus mutation. So virus mutate over time due to errors that occur during the copying of their genetic material. Now some mutations will be more stable because they are better for the bacteria or virus to retain. Okay, this is the process of evolution. This is a common process of evolution. Survival of the fittest. So mutation can occasionally provide advantage to the virus, making it more efficient at copying or entering host cells. And more the mutations remain, better the virus becomes. So it has more than 30 mutations from the original one. Okay. So it is a new subvariant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, informally named Pirola, and causing concern due to significant number of spike mutation. Okay, this is not very important. Just see it is already written in multiple countries, including Israel, Denmark, England, South Africa, and United States. Let's just see quickly the structure of the COVID virus. This is its envelope protein. This is envelope or the coat. This is its genome. It's a RNA virus, viral ligament. Okay. So this we need to see. This is the generalized structure of a virus. Let us see the COVID virus structure. Just a second. Okay, yeah. So this is RNA virus genome. RNA is single-stranded. Most of the virus are single-stranded. RNA can be quickly copied. Okay, very quickly copied than DNA. Oftentimes what happened? DNA, let's say this is DNA. So it will first become RNA, then copied. RNA can be quickly copied, but it's not very stable. So virus anyway doesn't want any stability. It wants mutation, fast mutations. Okay. So coronavirus is RNA viral genome. Please remember this. It has multiple spike and nucleocapsid, membrane, etc. So capsid is the protein which holds the genetic material and all. Alright, so this is about the today's news. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this lecture and learned a lot. This is Yatharth here signing off. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and keep studying.